on Mathematician Afternoon Edition. I'll be your host, Quinn Jones. Yesterday on this amazing talk show, we interviewed Albert Einstein, a very special mathematician. But today we brought in a really special guest, all the way from Italy. Give it up for Florence Nightingale.
Thank you so much for having me on your show today.
We're so glad you're here. How was your ride here?
It was really good.
Good. Well, I did my research on you, and you have a lot of followers on YouTube and Instagram. Is that okay if we ask you some questions?
Yes.
First, can you tell me and the audience when and where you were born?
Well, I was born May 12th, 1820 in Florence, Italy. Many people don't know that I was actually named after where I was born.
Nice. I didn't know where you were named after where you were born. Also, can you tell me what your family life was like?
Well, I was the youngest of two children. My older sister's name was Frances, and my parents' names were William, my dad, and Frances, my mom.
You had a really nice family.
Thanks.
I was also the youngest. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
What was your childhood like?
Well, I was homeschooled by my father and was expected to get married at a young age.
Why were you homeschooled?
Well, back in my day, girls really didn't go to school.
How come girls didn't go to school?
Well, very few girls went to school, and those girls were very wealthy, also known as rich.
Okay. If we're on the topic, did you get married, and if so, who?
I actually didn't get married. I got proposed to twice because I rejected because I wanted to dedicate my life to the relationship I had with my friends.
Cool. What did you study when you were younger?
Well, the languages I studied were French, German, Italian, Greek, and Latin, and the classes I took were history, philosophy, and literature. My mother refused to let me study mathematics just because it's not what girls did. So I became a nurse. Later in my life, being a nurse was a huge impact on my life, but I'll get into that some more later. Eventually, I did get her permission and I could study math.
Sounds like you studied a lot of languages.
Yeah.
Could you tell us something in German?
I really would, but I really don't want to show off.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you're really good?
Yes.
Okay. What made you interested in math?
Well, like I said, my mom, she did not like math, but my dad, he loved it. He loved it so much he told me interesting facts and even stories about math, so that's when I got interested in math.
Okay, this is the most important question on this interview. What have you done to help the math world?
Well, I helped improve hospitals at the time. On a mission, me and some nurses figured out that soldiers were dying from unstoppable diseases. So my job on that mission was to collect the data, also known as statistics. But when I was taking the data, I didn't do it on any normal chart. I made my own polar area graph chart. People also call it the Nightingale-Rose diagram. If you don't know what the polar area graph is, it's like a pie, as you can see. And the bigger the piece, the more of whatever you're using there is.
That looks really interesting.
Thanks.
I heard you had a nickname as a nurse. Can you tell me what that was?
Well, my nickname as a nurse was the lady with the lamp. Because when I would go check on my patients at night, I would always carry a lamp to see through the dark.
That's quite a unique nickname you had.
Thanks.
What war was happening when you had to come help nurse?
Well, they called me over during the Crimean War.
Why did they call you over during the Crimean War?
Well, they actually called me over to bring nurses to help with the suffering patients.
Well, we've learned so much about you today. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Some advice I'd have for young kids is to always know your facts. It helps you so much in later life.
Do you mean all facts or just your simple 5th grade multiplication facts?
I mean just your simple 5th grade multiplication facts. Thank you so much for having me on your show today.
Once again, I'm Quinn Jones. We had an amazing podcast with Florence, but tomorrow we're going to be interviewing, you don't know who yet, so wait, you're going to have to come on tomorrow. That's all for today on Mathematician Afternoon Edition.